Hey everyone, it's Mace1370. For the last week, I have been organizing the first Epic 7 YouTube tournament. I call it the E7 YouTube Cup. We're going to get into all of the details though. Before we do, please make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, see the video description below for a link to my Discord. So the rules for this tournament are a little different than some of the ones I've seen done in the past. There are two brackets. One is for Legend players, one is for Emperor players. However, there's a twist. In order to play in this tournament, you have to be sponsored by a content creator who has, done content for Epic 7 on YouTube. Examples are Car6, Valky, ZodiAtma, etc. So for every single player, we had them sponsored by a content creator. I made a bracket for, Legend and Emperor. We paired everybody up, and then each match was recorded with the content creators doing commentary on the match for the people playing. Let's go ahead and take a look at the brackets here. Okay, here you can see the bracket for the Legend players. This was created after doing 5 little randomizations. We have Ace Trainer against Aetherbulge for Game 1, Cal 888 against Elfmage for Game 2, Delphys versus Godless for Game 3, and Game 4 is Vinny versus Rikazo. So as I mentioned, every single player on this list was sponsored by a content creator, so we can go through those really quickly. So ZodiAtma sponsored Ace Trainer, Aetherbulge was sponsored by Canna, Cal 888 was sponsored by Car6, Elfmage was sponsored by Valky, Delphys was sponsored by DrSquirrel, Godless was sponsored by Deity, Vinny was sponsored by Shogun, and I sponsored Rikazo. So each of these players will play a best of 3 to advance to the next round. So this will be the first round, round 2 is here, and then the finals will be round 3. The prize is $200 for the person who finishes in the first place, and then the content creator who sponsored them will also get $100. So that is the Legend bracket. Alrighty, so here's the Emperor bracket. We have STG versus Hidden Darkness for game number 1. I sponsored Hidden Darkness, and STG was sponsored by Canna. The next match in round 1 is Alito22 versus Patford. Alito is sponsored by DrSquirrel, and Patford is sponsored by Deity. Match number 3 is Whitebase versus Cashberry Mary. Cashberry Mary is sponsored by Valky, he's another Veritas member, and Whitebase is sponsored by ZodiAtma. Match number 4 is Late Input versus City. City is sponsored by Shogun, and Late Input is sponsored by Car6. So this tournament will follow the same format as the Legend bracket. The difference is the prize is $100 for the winner and then $50 for the streamer. After both of these brackets have concluded, we're going to have a best of 3 match between the winning Legend player and the winning Emperor player. And the winner of that, drumroll, will get their name on the E7 YouTube Cup Champion Trophy. So it'll go down here, right in this space. And then on my Discord, I'm going to create a Hall of Fame channel, and we're going to post, the winning person in the tournament in that channel. So it'll be there forever. So today we have the entire first round of the Legend bracket that we're going to go through here. In the future, I'm going to upload these by round. So the next video for the Legend bracket will be this round and then the final round, and we'll follow the same format for the Emperor bracket. And then there'll be a separate video for the Legend versus Emperor player. I think that covers everything. I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get into the matches. Hey everyone, this is Mace1370. We are here for the match against Aetherbulge and Ace Trainer. I am joined by Canna and ZodiAtma. Do you guys want to say hi?
Hey guys, Canna here, resident One Frame Andy, Legend one-timer. I stream every day on Twitch. Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for having me on, Mace.
Hey guys, it's Zodi here. So, I think a lot of you guys probably know me because I've been around for quite some time. I'm a day 8 player because it took me 8 days to re-roll for my CES plus Ravi account. So yeah, the battle looks like starting. So yeah.
Alrighty. Looks like it paused there for a second. Did you guys see who got first pick?
I did not actually.
Looks like it's Ace Trainer.
Ace. Yeah. So interesting. Okay. Well, actually, maybe not so interesting. I think this is pretty common. Ace Trainer, kind of a slower player, doesn't really enjoy being cleaved. Mediator, as a response or after the Ran ban, Aether Bulge being more of a cleave player. And they're picking so fast, I can't even really analyze their picks much, but they're playing pretty standard, I'd say, right? Valiant Ban into a more aggressive draft from Aether Bulge, and Rand Ban from Ace Trainer, followed by a more slower draft, right?
Yeah, the picks are really quick. I'm surprised Aether went for Angel of Light, even though Ace already picked Emerald Carrick, but that could be come down to 50-50 ban scenario, or his Angel of Light could be built slower, one of the slower builds in order to go after the Carrick, so she could be an okay pick. Right now, Ace Trainer's team composition looks to be tanky because he's got mitigation. However, Aether Bulge does have 2 damage dealers that are pretty good into the APOC, so I'm actually liking Aether Bulge draft more right now, but let's see what Ace Trainer can pull out here in his last 2 picks.
Yeah, I assume this is a slow AOL with a DN pairing. It's pretty common to draft, I think, AOL into the hand guy here, just so that you deny the AOL to the opponent, since she's very, very annoying to play into.
Right, yeah. Because she's pretty good into the Huayang.
Oh, we got an XDD already.
I was gonna say, it has been I feel like it was pretty late into the draft for us not to see either Alencia or Shogun on either side, but you know, an interesting thing that we were missing from both sides, no Adventurer Roz.
Yeah.
From either side.
Yeah, I think Ace was a little worried about the cleave because he picked Trozet. I guess you would probably normally pick Aros there if you were less worried about the cleave.
Ooh, and the DN and the Mediator ban, so we'll see if the Angel, well, the Angel of Light looks like it should silence the whole team, but not sure how much that'll do, honestly. A lot of Ace Trainer's units here are very effective, actually, against Angel of Light, or can work without having skill 3s, skill 2s, etc.
The only one who's really crippled is Shu, and Trozet can cleanse her because he didn't get silenced.
Yeah, I was wondering whether or not he might have tried to just kill the Troublemaker Crozet, but I guess it's not worth doing. That being said, this is really good damage actually onto the Archdemon Mercedes, but not enough. And proccing first turn too, no less, off of the counter, but into the skill null, so everyone's kind of okay. But as you mentioned, Troublemaker Crozet still has a skill 3, and you have to imagine that he's probably going to be... Well, actually, I don't know if he's going to cleanse the... If he cleanses the Shu, I think the Alencia is going to skill 3 and try to strip everything off, right?
Oh, so, wow. Yeah. He put it on Archdemon.
Yeah, I think he's trying to keep her alive for as long as possible, right?
Yeah, that's interesting because she's already almost dead. But APOC might be able to bring her back. By doing this on Shu, though, or not doing it on Shu, Shu won't get her S3, and so she won't activate that Elbrus chance, right?
I guess it's kind of just a dicey balancing act of whether or not you want to potentially lose the anti-crit and the value from Shu's S3, or whether you would want to, I guess, protect your team for like one turn, but it just looks like this Archdemon Mercedes or this ADS should just be dead here, I think.
Yeah, ADS is dead. I think it was smart for Aether Bulge to go on ADS since he doesn't really have a cleanser. Oh, stunning the Shu.
Yeah, I guess he seems to be having like a lot of really good damage distribution, right? Right, Zodi?
Yeah, definitely. The Mediator Carrick ban was amazing here because now APOC is silenced, and also the Alencia is pretty good into APOC because of the injury, right? So now Aether Bulge basically has many buffs up on his team, got defense buff, so that will help with, the fact that APOC cannot one-shot and bring back a unit. So yeah, I think the Mediator Carrick ban was really good here.
Ooh, and you have to think that although it's not super like it wasn't super apparent at the time, I'm sure Ace Trainer probably felt fine picking the and the match is just over, but I was gonna say Angel of Light didn't seem like she was going to do that much into the right side team. The Apocalypse Robbie, usually more of a turn 2 in that sort of draft where you don't really care if you lose your first turn, but it was actually enough tempo, and the silence that Angel of Light provided was enough tempo for basically all of Ace Trainer's team to just die on turn 1, right?
Huayong is quite silly, and I think that's what's so threatening about playing into somebody like Aether Bulge is they pick a unit like Hua, and you don't really want to play standard into that, but you're also afraid they're going to cleave you. And so it puts you in a really tough spot, and I think Ace Trainer unfortunately went down the route of playing standard into, the Huayong there.
And I think Game 2's bans are definitely pretty standard too. The Conqueror Lilius, the Huayong. I don't know. Okay, so this time Aether Bulge decides to take away the Apocalypse Robbie and the Standing. That's really surprising. We don't see, once again, I have to stress, we don't see any of the DN, we don't see the Adventurer Roz, not even the Angel of Light takeaway at this point.
Yeah, Zodi, what do you think about that early Stenny pick?
Yeah.
It's really good because Bellion's pre-banned, plus AB, he's a very flexible player, so even if Ace Trainer tries to, go for a more aggressive draft, he can pivot to, something tanky like FCC, a tankier draft to survive. But it looks like AB is actually playing really aggro now with that Angel of Light plus DN into Ace Trainer. I think it's because he saw the LQC, so LQC is pretty susceptible to aggro, so you don't want her to take a turn and one-shot your unit. So a good way to deal with her is just to go aggressive. So that Destina pickup, I think it's pretty good here, but it all comes down to the damage dealers here, whether the Op Demon plus LQC can beat the APOC plus S10E.
Do you think that
Not sure
AB is going to ban one of the DPS here? Because he has 2 checks on his AOL, right? So banning...
Yeah.
I mean, you could ban the attack buff, I suppose, but...
Right.
Then Destina is just going to cleanse the team.
Yeah.
ARAS is also an option. I feel like it's probably ARAS or one of the DPS.
Yeah.
Oh, Pavel.
Pavel? I'm not sure. If he picks Pavel, he has to ban the Ras, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Then, or else the team's got to be way too tanky with the protection from Ras. But the thing is, Ace got Destina. She's a reviver, so even it depends how much tempo Pavel gives. Let's see the speed tuning. Does DN go before Pavel? It doesn't matter. Pavel gives himself a type. Oh, is it slow Pavel?
Well, Pavel got
It's a very slow Pavel.
West Pavel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't really see a ton of damage on... Oh, I guess AB does have double book, so that's where the damage is. I think he's going to have a hard time nuking down Destina and one of the DPS, though, right?
True. Okay, Destina resisted. Okay, that's expected.
I think what's
I
really
guess
I was going to say what's probably going to be really interesting is, or it's really going to come down, I think, to... I guess, like, even after the cleanse comes... Oh, actually, yeah. He could just full cleanse the team, so...
Well, that's a good play, yeah.
Yeah, very good play, I think.
Yeah, so now LQC gets the attack buff. Because I saw LQC wasn't going to get attack buff for first turn. Oh, that
attack.
I want to look at this.
I think this LQC was dead anyways, so I don't think that matters too much.
Yeah, there's no mitigation on Ace Trainer's team, so... Yeah, but there is Revive coming in. Let me have a look at the turn order.
Yeah, and she's right at the top of the CR bar, right? So when she revives, she'll probably take the turn.
Right. But she won't have attack buff, though, so...
Does she keep Hellcutter stacks to revive? I'm not sure. I feel like not.
Her revive stacks, I'm pretty sure, are reset when she dies. So I know Ace Trainer does have the revive still available, and Archdemon is kind of one of those frenzy characters that sometimes can be really scary. But after this Destina presses S3, she's got not many turns. Or sorry, I just realized before we were talking about LQZ. Yeah, LQZ does not revive with Hellcutter.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was.
Oh, didn't even crit. Yeah.
Oh, got it.
No stacks, right?
Sorry, Ace.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? Like, although it's so unfortunate because it really does look like, if you look at Ace Trainer's team, like Angel of Light should be like a near non-factor, right? But when you actually pair the Angel of Light with Book, and then you give yourself like an attack buff, to pocket someone like the Spectre Tenebria, you actually have like an alternate use, right, for the Angel of Light, which is like an enabler to just stun or to just strip everything, or force out an important cooldown like Destina S3, and then you have a Spectre Tenebria who's basically has like full reign in the back line. To hit as much as she wants, and this APOC is basically full health. I mean, definitely full health now, but Destina, like, what is Destina even to do now, right? Like, she has a skill 2, which I guess is fine, but unless if ADS starts proccing a lot and unless she goes basically wild with it.
Ooh, I think that was a misplay on Ace's part. He should have gone into the APOC there. Like, I think he's a bit behind. He needs the seal on it. Although I guess DN has a cleanse coming up soon anyways.
Yeah, so you make a really good point about the book, Canna. So Acerbush did pre-ban Bellion, and then he went for book holders, right? So he was prepared to go for, this particular draft today, I feel. Book is a really powerful artifact, right? We all know that, so he made really good use of it today. The thing with ADS is she's actually really good into APOC plus S10, I feel. I think, but she's good if she has like mitigation on her side, right? But there's no mitigation, so not sure how this will go down. I think, yeah. Let's see.
I don't think that Ace Trainer's going to be able to finish off APOC Ravi.
Yeah, she's at full health.
We do have an S3 here with attack buff though from Amaro, so that's going to do a lot.
Does AOL have her passive up? Forgot.
I think she does, right?
Yeah.
That's not good.
Does it cleanse the... Ooh, it doesn't cleanse the defense break from the Apocalypse Robbie, which is kind of nice, but the dual attack is kind of nice too.
Okay. I can again.
Crit. Wow, that
nice. That burns. Okay.
And just like that, it does actually look like Ace Trainer has a really good chance of winning here.
Yeah. I think the burns gonna kill Penny. Yeah. Oh wait. Revive.
Yeah, he does get a revive here.
So the big question here is whether or not he will get back Spectre Tenebria or not, right? If he gets Spectre Tenebria, I think...
Oh, he's going for...
Oh my goodness.
Oh, he's crazy! He's a psychopath! I cannot believe he went for that.
He actually went for... Yeah, I thought he was going to go for Destina, right? He actually went for it. Wow, okay.
Wow, this was a
can he win this? Like,
No, now it's 2 from DN.
Yeah.
I cannot believe he just did that. That was the craziest S3 I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
The seal and onto the... I really didn't expect the Archdemon, honestly, to die. Well, I guess maybe I should...
right?
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, I guess I was just really expecting... I was just kind of expecting the seal debuff to dissuade him, right? But I guess he just didn't care.
Maybe from AB's perspective, he's already up a game, and here's a shot to just completely win it all, right? And worst case scenario, you go to game 3.
He's missing 30% crit, right? From being sealed. So he may have missed the crit.
Yeah, if he misses crit, he just loses. Oh, now my dog is barking in the background. That's very helpful. All right, well, thank you guys. So AB is going to advance, and Ace Trainer is unfortunately eliminated, but Zodi will return for the Emperor bracket.
Right, all right.
Okay, thank you guys. I'll see you later.
Take it easy, guys.
Yeah, see you guys. Yeah, cheers.
Hey everyone, this is Mace1370. We are here for the Cal 888888 versus Omega match. I am joined by Valk and Car. You guys want to say hi?
Hello guys, how you guys doing? Valk here. I stream under the name Valky, and I'm just, your casual RT enthusiast, and for the Legend bracket, I'll be sponsoring Elf Mage, aka Omega.
What up boys, Car here. I'm sponsoring Call 888, and we are both turn 2 players. So I'm hoping we can survive the Omega onslaught. I got faith in my boy, though. We got this.
All right, looks like Omega got the first pick. So I think it'll be interesting to see these two guys play because they both have very different playstyles, right? Omega's a very aggressive player.
Yes, and Call's definitely defensive. Mace, real quick, is the room up? Can I get in there?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the Discord info. In the yeah, the group chat.
Come in.
Sorry, I posted it earlier. I thought you were in. Well, it looks like Omega has first picked Conquer Lilius, which is pretty expected, right?
Yeah, I would say that's generally a first pick or ban type unit. It's very oppressive, and with, Bunny Dominial up, right? She's one of those new units that come out that everyone kind of thinks is really good against Conqueror Lilius. And even for a defensive player like Call, he just picks her up real early like that.
It's interesting seeing Moon Bunny Dominial here. I've tried running her against Conquer Lilius a few times, and I didn't have a lot of success, to be perfectly honest. I think, maybe the few times that I won were just gear cap.
Yeah, I think she shines in aggressive matches, which Call is definitely not an aggressive player, but he has a special build we're trying just for this, so hopefully it pans out.
Ooh, that's spicy.
It's definitely, it's definitely spicy.
Were you able to get into the room okay?
Yeah, I'm watching now.
Awesome.
Okay, yeah, and then Elf actually kind of swings into this more of what I would consider a tank down style comp where you're running 2 supports. Well, even in this case, it's like 3 supports, right?
3 utility units, yep.
And usually that's something you do to play way more defensively. And I'm kind of not sure what kind of comp he's going for. He's going to need very strong DPSs on 4 or 5, though, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any sustain, really, right? Like, he gets the shields from Hand Guy, and that's pretty much it.
No sustain, but so far he's set up to fight the Landy really well, assuming, depending on his ban.
That's true.
Yeah, and I think the defense stats you get from Vigor, too, you can't really scoff at that, right? 30% defense and attack, and the shield, and you kind of insulate yourself pretty heavily from the debuffs, when all things considered.
Oh, wow, you're right. He is doing kind of a tank. That's, Meru Steny, okay.
I was almost wondering if we were going to see a couple fire units and then just ban last.
Yeah,
so
fire units ban last, against this also, like, Call's playing a defensive draft, right? I think defensive drafts in Epic 7 is characterized by your first 3 picks being 2 supports and a tank. And I think both sides are kind of sporting that for this particular game.
Yeah, Omega's a pretty flexible player, so it's interesting, seeing him do this. Usually when I watch him on stream, he's like all aggro all the time. Alright, so LHC ban out. That's probably to be expected, right? Because the match is going to go a little long. You can't really let LHC get that much value from, Conquer Lilius turning her passive on.
Yeah, and on top of that, right, Omega is running that AOL, where AOL, I think, personally has an insane matchup versus Landy, because not only can you silence her, right, which kind of blocks her ability to reset herself, but also the fact that if she can't get buffs with that unbuffable on her, she loses a lot of tempo with the speed, without the speed buff.
All Landy's built diff, though. Literally built diff. And he has plenty of cleanse here. So I don't think it should be too bad. He does have a lot to watch out for between the AOL and the seal from Meru.
Yeah, Amelia is quite the cleansing machine, though.
And you'll see something with the Bunny Dom as well.
Oh wow, that did like almost no damage.
It procced the barrier though.
That it did.
So now he can strip it off.
Interesting. So enough ER to debuff the Bunny, but not the Amelia.
Yeah.
You would expect Cal to have a lot of ER on the Amelia, so that's no surprise. I wasn't sure if he'd be running the Bunny high ER or not, though.
I'm not sure how much I should say. It's decently high.
Yeah, don't give any stats away just in case, for future rounds.
Exactly, yep. I'll just say it's decently high.
But
So
yeah,
Barrier has been
this
procced.
Landy is looking kind of threatened here. Looks like Elv is going for it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think when you're playing a, I mean, it's a defensive style of standard, right? Albeit still standard. When you're playing standard versus standard, I find that in this defensive style where the enemy has a solo carry, you run it down on the carry as fast as you can, and generally just try to seize victory quickly that way.
He does get the proc.
And that
That's a
should
dead
do it.
Landy, yep.
That is a dead Landy.
Getting that early barrier proc into the AOL silence was pretty brutal for Call.
Yeah, he needed that barrier to be able to pull into the longer game, I think. Alright, so it looks like Omega is taking the first game.
Yeah, and I think that's just like kind of like when you see a good aggressive team go in, it's like a well-oiled machine where every unit takes a turn, they do exactly what they have to do. And against a defensive team, if you can just kind of snipe out your opponent's carry like that, generally you're looking at a pretty safe win like that.
In all fairness, though, if the team order or the turn order was a little bit different, Call is set up with mega high health Landy and Proof of Valor. But it just, yeah, either through Elf's tuning or just unfortunate unit turns, you know, the barrier procced, and then he needed that. If he gets that through and then he starts cleansing, I think he has a good shot at coming back there. Landy's a machine.
Yeah, especially I think with that initial barrier plus immunity, right? If Omega pulled anything else besides a Stenny, I think definitely Call had a shot there.
Oh, actually, yeah, good point, good point.
This is interesting. Last match, Elf took Conquer Lilius first, but now he's grabbing Bunny Dom.
Yeah. And I've heard Valky, she's very good in aggro lineups.
Yeah, she kind of also shuts down C. Lilius the same way a DJB might shut down a Payra, right? And you can draft her a little bit more aggressively because a DJB, generally speaking, can't give attack up. So he doesn't have as much value in an aggressive draft, whereas in a vacuum, you can draft Bunny Dominio like pretty aggressively, right? At the worst, at the very, very, very worst, she's a blue rose on a 3-turn cooldown with way higher base speed. So I think that's pretty strong. And drafted with C. Lilius, so that's going to be Veer and attack up should he get this through.
So I've done a lot of drafts with Conquer Lilius and one other support. It's usually been Amelia in, you know, the previous metas. And I've done the same type of draft with Conk and Bunny Dom, and it just feels a little weaker than with Amelia, but I suppose you are denying the Bunny pick to your opponent.
That's what I think it is. It's a steal here.
Yeah. That's a pretty early closer, Charles. From Omega.
And there's... We got an...
I think the thing is, Omega kind of understands that he's playing into a slower opponent. Ooh, wow.
Irvelin.
Is Elf trying to flex right now? What's going on, man?
If you've seen his Irvelin, yeah, it's giga cracked.
I think Irvelin is a pretty legit pick now, especially if you have CR pushing attack buffers.
Yeah.
So if you have a unit that can CR push and attack buff in a singular go, I actually think Irvelin is very, very strong. And considering that, you know, Omega is running both Bunny Dom and Closer Charles, like, that Irvelin is looking like he's about to set up to do some damage.
I think with Irvelin, though, you need very premium DPS gear on him. He is a high gear score unit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's generally what I would, you know, assume for a lot of endgame aggressive players. He's about like 220, 230 speed with as much damage as you can get on a pen set, right?
Yeah, pen set and like 14k MCD I think is where you want to be. So I think just to translate that into gear score, I think that ends up being like 430 to 440 gear score, depending on how fast he is.
Yeah.
Of pure offensive stats.
I mean, at 14k MCD is nothing to scoff at, right? 13k MCD is 4,300 on pen set, right? That's 13.2 MCD. 14k is like even more than that.
So it looks like the Elena is going to go through here versus Closer.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, you know, he just skips a button press and just let the Irvelin work on the Elena like that.
He gets the attack buff from Bunny Dom, so he doesn't really need to press skill 3.
And I think that's part of the power with this Bunny Dom pick. You can kind of it lets you be a little bit more free form in the way you structure your turn orders.
I do like that Cal has set up double revive, though. It means that there's a lot of high priority targets that Elf has to kill, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with, you know, Apoc Ravi sitting behind the A Ross, I wonder if Elf is just gonna try to like one-shot that.
Yeah, he's very tanky. I want to see the surveillance damage, though. It's like unstoppable force versus immovable object.
Yes, exactly. Wow, he's
He is
pressing
gonna
the
press
button.
a button here. I think counting the CR, he's expecting the Evelyn to be able to cut ahead of the Elena.
Ooh,
Ooh, Elena cuts.
did not.
So there is some uncertainty because you don't know if Elena's on Tome, right, or another artifact.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you
You should
know,
assume the worst, though. No?
exactly. You should assume Tome.
Yeah, so even into the Invuln, Omega's just going to rip this Evelyn S3. You kind of want to get set up your survivability with the counterattack buff and the barrier.
Right.
So just gonna have to give up the damage in that case.
Yeah, Elena cutting there was huge for Cal. I'm surprised at how relevant the... Well, not surprised, but I've been impressed to say how relevant the sleep is on Bunny Dom.
Yeah, I'm noticing after, especially, you know, after Rimaru's, like, dominance in the meta, right? A lot of prominent
wow.
units with
Very
immunity just
early
kinda got
yield.
dropped.
Yep.
Yeah, and
But that was pretty much.
Yeah, that was pretty
It's
over.
yeah, pretty much over. So he bet the farm on that closer Charles push and
Yeah. Yeah, I
lost
think
out
that
on
was probably a misplay.
I think it was a little bit awkward, right? Because you technically can skip the closer S3 for the Evelyn, but the problem arrives when, I think, also when Omega realized, like, well, there's two revivers. If
Yeah.
I kill the maid, the Apoc's going to be able to clap my Charles. If
Yeah, he
I,
was
Yes.
he was in a tough spot for sure.
Yeah,
if I
that's...
go on the Charles, then the maid revives or if I go on the A Ravi, then the maid revives. So either
So very
way,
good draft from Mr. Call is what we're saying.
Yeah, no, I think Call did a very
Nice
good job there with the
defensive
double revive. I think he took advantage of that early closer Charles pick from Omega.
Yeah, I think that was like confidence to some extent, right? Because normally you pick Charles on 4 or 5. 3 is like confidence when you know the other person doesn't race you. But Elena being a closer Charles counter at like pick 3 as well was really good draft.
And
Let's
I
see
think
what
just to
Omega does here.
clarify, we should just... I think, I don't know if we said, but Omega is Elf Mage, if anyone's wondering why I keep alternating between the two. I think I've been doing that without noticing.
If you go by Omega, though, we can just keep saying Omega.
Either way.
Yeah, so Omega definitely now going as as Valk put it, you know, a more tank down style in this one. No early closer Charles. He's actually taking the Raws too. He's setting himself up though if Call wants the Bunny Dom here, but he already has 2 supports, so more than likely he cannot take her.
Before that Pillis pick, Cal's draft was looking a lot like a Damn draft.
Yeah, Damn being one of like Korea's best defensive players too. And I think this LQC here is really, really strong. Against a Ravi, in a longer game, I feel like you can almost always take LQC if you can secure that Meteor Coerc. Just make sure the opponent can't run him and just snap away your immunity and attack down.
Call's very weak to Landy though, so he's either gonna have to ban that or have some kind of game plan moving forward. Ooh, show me the Arya. I love seeing her.
I always have a frustrating time playing against the players that pre-ban out Hua and Stenny. It just feels like there's no good DPS options.
Yeah, my playstyle is very dependent on those two heroes. So when like slower defensive players, especially players on like that play a lot of counter units, right? Ban out those two units, it feels very suffocating to try to play anything else into them.
But do we think here? Oh, interesting. So Call actually bans out the Silius, so he's gonna be left against the Landy with just an LQC as DPS.
Yeah, I like the Rimuru pick here from Omega.
It was really good because he first picked the Raws as well.
You know, this is very scary when you just have a single carry, because Rimuru can really nuke for a lot of damage.
Not only that, how is he going to reach the Landy? The splash shouldn't be enough to kill. He's going to have to hope for a Griefing Light.
Mm-hmm.
No
Defense break.
Defense break.
Ooh, that's really bad. And the Ravi goes next.
Yeah.
I think this is it. He just rips S3.
Yeah, I agree.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that game came down to defense break.
Yeah, I know Call has this tech where he goes Destruction Set plus Pen Set on OQC. I think until A. Ross became a meta unit, that build is like really terrifying. But with A. Ross and how aggressively he can set up a team, he definitely got punished there.
Yeah, for you mean because he didn't have immunity set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it enabled the defense break, which actually, now that you mentioned that, Valk, you do see most LQCs running the triple set these days.
Yeah, I think for a while when the triple set was first a thing, right? That was when Destruction Set was worth 45 crit damage instead of 60 as it is today. So a pen set on an LQC against a dark unit is worth about 42 crit damage, which frees you up to also run the immunity set, and on top of that, you can also run a secondary or a tertiary double set, which gives you 20 gear score. So it's arguably like the best set on her. But I know Call, as soon as the Destruction set got buffed, swapped to a Destruction plus Pen set, which did a lot of damage, but with A. Ravi, or rather A. Ross being so strong at enabling just aggressive options, it's very like high risk, high reward to run a build like that.
Agreed. One minor correction though, he was actually on Destruction way before the buff on his LQC.
Oh, okay.
He just always had that because he's a Banshee main. Yeah.
Well, I think that'll do it for this round. Omega and Valk will advance on, and we will see Car 6 again in the Emperor bracket. Do you guys want to say anything before we head out?
Go ahead, Valk.
Nah, just like thanks for having us on. It's a chill time.
Yep. Thank you for bringing this together, mates. It's a lot of fun, and I look forward to the Emperor side.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you guys later.
Thank you.
For sure. See ya, guys.
Hey everyone, this is Mace1370. We are here for the Godless and Delphi's match. I am joined by DrSquirrel and Deity. You guys want to say hi?
Sure, I guess I'll go first. I'm DrSquirrel. I'm a E7 YouTuber, obviously, a washed-up ex-Legend player, and I'm sponsoring Delphi's.
My name is Deity. I am the same, but not Legend, and I'm sponsoring Godless because he's the opposite of me, so I figured it would be fitting.
Nice. Okay, here we go. We're giving Delphi's first pick because we actually started this on a previous take, and that was my fault. I screwed up, and he got first pick on that one. So,
where am I watching this?
Oh, are you not in the thing? It's in the group chat. So it's E7 YouTube Cup round 1, and then the password is in the group chat message.
Oh, I gotta open my
lobby.
game for this. I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
I can probably stream it, if that makes it easier for you, Deity.
That's what I thought we were doing. It'd be faster for me to get in there.
If you can open that up quickly, Squirrel. So it looks like Conquer Lilius and Hua are pre-banned.
I can't.
What's happening? I think there's some channel setting here. It's not letting me go live.
Oh, it's not letting you?
Of course I messed it up. I'm sorry. I'm loading the game right now.
No, you're
I'll be
good.
in there in a couple seconds.
So Delphi's is first picked Aras, and then Godless is responding with Dien and the classic Closer Charles. So if anybody's familiar with Godless, everybody knows that he likes Closer Charles.
I just recently got Closer Charles, so that was part of also why I picked him.
Yeah, I think Godless is probably
it.
the classic Closer Charles player in the top bracket. Alright, so Delphi's is responding with Rimuru. That's a fairly common pick into Closer Charles, and I think he's pretty good into Dien as well. Alright, interesting. So Delphi's has taken Pera. Pera's good
She's
into
been
Closer, but into Dien is a little weaker because Dien can just cleanse away the debuffs.
People have been playing PR a lot more ever since World Cup, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I've noticed that also. Alright, so Landy plus Solitaria. Solitaria is interesting. That's probably in response to Rimuru being able to, you know, stun him down and prevent the Analyze and Assess.
I mean, Delphi's is lacking damage here, so he's going to have to... He's probably thinking what DPS he can pick without getting countered here.
Yeah, Godless has one more pick, so, you know, ideally if Delphi's is thinking ahead, he's going to just try to draft to beat these 4 and then just ban the last one. Fire Charlotte is interesting. That'll help him pull the Landy out of stealth, and then another cleanser with DJ Basar. How do you guys think Delphi's has Rimuru built? Because if Charlotte gets banned out, then it's a solo DPS Rimuru, which can be a little scary.
Yeah, I feel like Godless just banned Charlotte and just deals with the solo Rimuru here.
Yeah.
Probably going to be
AOL.
very bulky Rimuru.
Oh, interesting. The
AOL,
AOL pick kind of implicates a DJ Basar ban. And then no matter what, Delphi's has to deal with 2 debuffers now. Alright, so the last pick from both get banned out.
Okay, I made it just in time.
Nice.
But like I was watching sports baseball on like AM radio there.
Alright, so Pierre gets the first turn. That's pretty predictable.
Ooh, Charles resist.
Nice. It looks like it doesn't matter too much because Godless is speed tuned for DM
Yeah.
to cleanse off, right?
Now he has the option. He won't do the attack buff. Never mind. It actually might be bad.
So now he's
Isn't
going
that
to
this
SP
way?
Rimuru here.
I almost wondered if Delphi's was going to try to stun the DN. You know, it's kind of a low percentage play, but it would prevent the push-up at least.
I
Yeah.
thought he might stun the Solitaria.
That's also an option.
This is a lot of buffs for Landy to work with.
It is, yeah. And there's...
And it's attack buff, Landy.
Yep, and there's no sustain on Delphi's side. Yeah, this Rimmer looks like he's going to do absolutely nothing.
Ooh.
Was it Symbol of Unity, Charlotte?
We haven't seen her take a turn yet, I'm not sure. Does that show at the beginning of the
Might
match?
steal to kill Landy here. I would just probably S2 into it.
Yeah, try to get the death
I'd go
break.
for it, yeah. Before anti-crit and everything else goes
Oh,
up.
50% again!
You love it. Ooh, that is a squishy Landy.
It doesn't look like Symbol of Unity, though, so Closer Charles has a bit better chance of surviving.
I think now we're gonna it's gonna, you know, how many stuns can Solitaria get off? Because Landy looks in trouble.
Since Landy didn't proc getting light last turn, though, did she? She should be
No.
able to
No, she
this
didn't.
turn,
Yeah.
because she's gonna lap ahead here. So that'll mitigate a lot of the Charlotte damage too.
Lands the stun
Ooh,
through
lands
blind.
it.
Okay,
Yes.
Rimmer is down.
And got the stealth too, so the next Charlotte shouldn't kill the Landy.
Mm-hmm. I've seen Charlotte carry a lot of games, but I think it's going to be an uphill battle here for Delphi's.
Yeah, with the solitary.
Yeah.
Looks like he's debating about using S3 or not.
Yeah, I thought he was going to hold it.
Oh, he does a soul burn.
Ooh.
Okay, we got a crit on Ras and a miss on Charlotte.
Yeah. Eros is dead, though.
Oh, nope.
It doesn't matter. He doesn't really have anything left.
This will heal him a little bit with the skill 3.
Yeah, but Closet Charles hits pretty hard. I think he gets
Yeah, he does.
dumpstered after this cycle right here.
Yeah, I think so. I think Delphi's played this one a little too passively. He didn't really bring anything to interrupt, you know, the momentum on Godless's side. And you can just see he's just taking a lot of abuse here because of that.
Yeah, and then debuffs on Solitaria. There's no way the Charlotte's gonna break free.
I mean, this game comes down to so many 50-50s, though. If that A-Rod's death broke the Landy on that first turn, it was an automatic win for Delphi's, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, you know, your 30% chance to not Guiding Light, and then you have Ras's chance to not Death Break, which, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like my Ras never Death Breaks.
Mine never does.
Either.
But the opponent's does 99% of the time.
The power of right-sided A-Ras.
He missed all 3.
Yeah. I think this finishes here.
Ooh, holy sack.
Holy sack.
Holy
Interesting.
sack.
The comeback?
You know, it's kind of crazy, but there is a world where Delphi's wins. If Landy
If he hits
misses,
everything.
Yep, and then Solitaria
has
completely whiffs. Well,
Closer just got boosted, actually.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's game.
It's done.
The dream is over. All right. So Godless takes game 1.
Is Holy Sack common on Charlotte? I don't think it's that good on her.
Not super common. You do see it occasionally, but yeah, more often it's like Symbol or something like that.
Yeah, some people use their symbols on another character. For me, I just don't have anything I want to run on Charlotte. That's so I holy sack mine as well.
I mean, if she revives, there's no way she gets her passive, right? She'll never have the attack buff.
She'll have the barrier, and sometimes that barrier makes it to where you can get a little lifesteal to sustain one more turn. I've won some games because of it, but it's
Yeah,
not
Holy
very
Sack,
good.
I'd say is maybe a little more common in like the really tanky players, just because they want her to survive at all costs, and they have usually a suite of support characters they're bringing with her.
Yeah, I just put mine on Symbol.
And my symbol's on my Lionheart Sarmia, so...
All right, little target banning going on there from both sides, it looks like. We have a Charles and a Para ban out.
The Respect Closer Charles ban. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Godless basically builds his entire, account around him.
Yeah, I got him from Coin Shop recently, and he is one of the more fun characters in the game. He's the only attacking CR boosting attack buffer for your team.
I like using him, but I stopped because I kind of treat him like Ryle. I would lose every game because he would just get hit and die in one shot, and I was like, screw this hero.
Yeah, my closer also always gets hit. That's a little early LQC pickup, kind of scary into the Rimuru. And it looks like Godless is flexing into even more aggressively with the Ran there. But I don't really see much of a bridge at the moment. I mean, I guess you have Politis, but...
Yeah.
I think even if...
The Ran into AOL is my question.
Well, it's going to trigger AOL's passive, which will then trigger Politis, which is... it's okay.
I feel like that can get hard punished, though. If Delphi's picks right.
Yeah, I don't really see a lot of payoff here to the Ran, unless he bans out DN and the Death Breaks can stick.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a Designer. That's not a bad pick with, a few debuffs on the enemy side. And a Landy.
I usually don't like Delibet versus Rimuru, though.
Yeah, same.
I agree with that. And Landy's also a little... I don't know about Landy here.
I think that Alencia would have been better.
Alencia would have been better. I think you need something tanky, or something casino-y, right? Like a Garmin or something like that.
Maybe it's the Landy's trying. I don't know. I don't know what Duff's plan is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he could actually just get blown up in the opener if that Politis is really high DPS.
Interesting. The DN outsped the Ran.
Wait. What?
This DN is zooming.
By a good margin, too.
Yeah, but AOL isn't close enough to get the boost to try to debuff at the beginning. Because I think you would just rip that, because the Politis is going to proc anyway, if you could silence the Ran. And oh wait, she might get boosted. No, that's not enough. Never mind.
So Politis actually goes before Ran, so can't have used a Death Break.
This is going to boost up AOL above Ran, though, so Ran...
yeah, he has
Ran gets
S1,
silence.
though.
Yeah.
Because he soul burned the Politis to prevent the S3 from AOL. Oh, he's doing it to push up his LQC.
This will trigger Politis again, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll push up his LQC.
LQC is blind, though, I think.
He just has to win the 50-50. He wins if he hits here. Yep. Ooh.
Let's see it.
If he wins off this gamble, that's so cool.
There's no reason to soul burn. Rimuru might just kill. Actually, I guess he'd heal.
Cycle back into immunity.
Oh, he misses.
No.
Sorry, Delphys.
I respect the play though. Oh wait.
Oh wow.
That was quite the splash.
It's not over if he can.
No, yeah.
If his Landy. Oh no.
Robbie's silent, so can't revive anyone right now.
And same, Rimuru is silent, so can't S3. Oh, he killed!
Oh.
No way.
Okay, Delphys could pull this out. DN still has S2, right?
Yes, yes. I think Delphys wins.
Yeah.
Because he can DNS2 without Sphere of Politis, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now it's a solo A-Ravi.
Yeah. What arty is that APOC on? It could just
He was on
silence
Seed.
Seed.
Yeah. So could get a revive potentially if Seed gets or if Silence gets cleansed away by Seed.
Oh, he didn't even proc it.
So this will boost up A-Ravi.
Yeah, he's gonna get a revive off here. But what could he bring back that'll win him the game?
If he gets Politis or Rimuru.
Oh.
Wow.
I feel like that was greedy, not going for the AOL. But maybe he felt like he
yeah, I think he was behind, right? And the LQC had soul burned, so if he didn't kill it, he was going to get another skill 3.
All right, we got a down to the wire match though.
Down to game 3. So Godless gets first pick this time. Okay, so if you're Delphys, you know that you're second pick, so you're a little behind going into the third match. What do you pre-ban out? Do you get rid of the Ran? Because it looks like Delphys is a slower player.
Yep.
And then the
Godless
AOL
gets rid of
ban.
AOL.
Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because Godless wants to be aggressive.
Yeah, and the early DN because of that. I like that a lot. I wonder if Godless has Moon Bunny Dom.
That would be pretty
good.
cool.
I didn't think it was going to be good when I saw the notes. I've never seen it yet, though.
A lot of cleavers have been using it well.
Just because it's a fast attack buffer CR booster, right? So they're just cleaving with her.
Yeah, so it's like a DN.
At the time.
Yeah, the S2 is like almost irrelevant. Wow, that's an early Politis.
First pick.
I feel like that's so punishable.
I usually don't like that, yeah.
He almost has to take A-Ravi here. But then you're taking A-Ravi into DN.
Or, how about say, or Alencia, which I guess that might not be high priority yet.
Alright, we have an APOC pickup there from Godless. So I think Godless can be pretty flexible here with his last 2 picks.
Yeah. Have you been picking Alencia a lot? Because right here, it seems like she would be like top
for Delphi's.
pick.
Yeah, I feel like Alencia would be quite good here. Good into all of them.
Is off the board too.
And you know, honestly, Senya would also be pretty good here, since Senya can potentially, you know, have anti-crit against Rimuru, and he could whiff his skill 3. Although I guess you do risk Rimuru stealing counter buff, which would be pretty funny.
Yeah, the counter buff steal is. I've lost a couple of games like that.
But Senya's really good into DN and APOC, right? I'm a big Senya fan, so I was hoping for a Senya pick. Rimuru would be damned.
I can't believe he's valuing Landy over Alencia.
I think Delphi's is one of these slower players that kind of how Godless. It's more just like a bruiser who you don't want to play against, right? Because if you're slow and you have all these buffs, like Landy just destroys you. And so a lot of these slower players, you see them kind of adopt their drafts to always have a Landy in it, just to deny it from the opponent.
Yeah, I feel like Alencia is still a good pick in Ban Solitaria, because you're going to get defense buff on 2 characters.
He's got a problem because he has to take a DPS, but Godless's lineup is pretty scary right now.
Yeah, he goes LQC again.
He may not have Alencia built.
Yeah, that's true. Injury Alencia has been a game changer against Aravi. You do one S1 and she's down to 14,000 HP.
Yeah, it really cripples her. Alright, so the cleanser banned away and the debuffer banned away. That makes sense. What do you think about this BBK?
It better be insane damage.
Yeah.
But Raz can technically strip it too. Oh, I guess it's immunity.
It's probably ER anyway. I mean, every BBK I see nowadays is ER.
I don't think it's ER because he drafted into a non...
That's true, and it's on immunity.
Yeah, I think this is just full damage.
Yeah, maybe he just wants something to reach the Landy and delete things like Politis and, you know, these kind of like
this is going to trigger Reamer
mid EHP bruisers.
The immunity on A-Rod is kind of hurting in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've taken immunity off of a lot of characters for that reason.
Oh, no, he goes into LQC? I don't know.
Probably to avoid the barrier, yeah.
It looks like he went for Raz, yeah. Huh. Oh, well, I don't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he can't actually...
Maybe he thought he couldn't kill LQC? Right. And he didn't attack buff with DN, so I feel like he's going to lack a lot of damage here.
I think the reason is because it's not ER-BBK. He didn't want to get stripped.
Mm-hmm.
It's smart for him to cycle off this defense break, but he also cycled off his defense buff, so...
Yeah.
So, and he just strengthened the BBK on that hit.
This is the type of draft where Moon Bunny shines because you get the push and the attack buff, right? DN only gives you one or the other.
Oh, wait, that was not that much damage.
Nope, I think Godless lost off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's going to get bonked
LQC
now.
hits hard, so that bomb's going to kill everything, I think, except the Aravi.
Yeah.
And then the Landy will clean it up, most likely. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it just didn't have enough pressure.
Raz saws...
Just S2 into Aravi here?
Just go for the win. I don't... Yeah. I'm not sure.
It doesn't really matter. I think it's over.
Going for DN.
Yeah, it pulls Landy. Landy's going to cut. Yeah, he still can't S2 or else this whole board dies. Yeah, I think Godless is...
I think it's over.
Alright, Godless, come on.
Come back.
Oh, there's the symbol. It's on Landy.
Yeah, true. That's why it wasn't on Charlotte. Come on.
I think because there was no reviver, I think he had to go on LQC with the Rimuru, maybe.
Yeah, I guess I don't know why he went Raz.
Yeah, if he didn't kill, though, he'd probably just be in the same spot.
Well, if he didn't kill, he would still defense break the team and could have finished it with BBK.
Yeah,
That's what was crazy.
Yeah, but a nice turnaround there for Delphi's.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. So Delphi's will advance to the next round, and Deity will return for the Emperor bracket.
Yeah, I gotta find an Emperor player.
All right, thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you later.
All right, thanks, guys. Bye.
Yep, thank you.
Hey everyone, it's Mace1370. We are here for the match between Vinny and Ozakir, also known as Rikazo. I am here with Shotgun Shogun. Shogun, you want to say hi?
Yeah, hey, what's going on, guys? Shotgun Shogun here. You know, one thing that I've always had a weird time with, right? Because Rikazo / Ozakir has been a staple in the PvP RTA community for a really, really long time, is just exactly, you know, what he wants to go by, right? Sometimes you say Ozakir, sometimes you say Rikazo, sometimes you just flip in the same round. But we're going to be hopping into this. My person is going to be Vinny in this tournament. I am sponsoring the one, the only Vinny. Speaking of people who have been a staple forever, it's kind of interesting, Mace, how these people, maybe, you know, not necessarily in the Twitch community, right, but just in general, how big of a name you can actually make when you get yourself you know, into RTA, right?
Yeah, I think having famous names is always fun to watch, people that you recognize. I'm sponsoring Ozakir, so if he wins, actually, it saves me a little bit of money, but I'm rooting for everybody. I'm just happy everyone's involved.
Right, absolutely. And Vinny first picking the Moon Bunny Domino into a Ran second pick. So we're gonna see the cleave, the Speed Lord Vinny, the Vinny I'd like to boost Vinny, pulling out the Moon Bunny tech right here. But Ozakir going with a very, very typical standard draft here. The Hua Young into the A-Ross, into the A-Ravi. Vinny's going to have to bring a lot of power to be able to crack through this team.
Yeah, I think those are really comfort picks for Rikazo. He likes using the Ran Hua together. And it's going to be exciting to see how Moon Bunny does, since this is a hero that we haven't really seen in the World Cup and is kind of new to the meta, but really pushes an aggressive style of draft.
A third pick, Straws. This is really interesting. Now, this is going to bring the damage here to crack through Ozakir's team. It'll most likely take out the Ross, likely being the highest HP right there, but Rikazo going with the double Sid last pick here.
I like these a lot.
Ida, yeah.
I think if you're Rikazo, you need 2 disruptors in these last spots, because otherwise you're just going to get run over, right? I've seen some people do this draft and they pick one unit that can interrupt the enemy's momentum, like a Politis or a Green Celine, something like that, and that just gets banned out and then their team gets exploded. So having 2 units that can threaten, you know, the initiation on the left side is, I think, valuable.
Ooh, an Assassin Collie. Now, this is not something that you see very often here. Now, I do believe Vinny's going to have to ban out one of the speed contesters, most likely the Assassin Sid, as potentially the Green Sid is not going to be super fast. So we do see the Assassin Sid and the Ran ban out here. Now, that is pretty big because the Ran would be able to defense break, which would be which would allow Vinny a very big fight. Wow, that Assassin Collie is fast.
That is speedy. I didn't get the CR bar open in time.
Nope, but that is a dead Sid. Gonna silence the A-Ravi. Not that that really matters too much. And then here comes the Moon Bunny Domino. This is going to provide that attack buff, going to push forward, going to activate the Ida. We will see the Ida Soulburn S2 into S3 into the Straws. Let's see what this does.
I think it's going to delete Rikazo.
No strip, though, on the Hua Young there.
Yeah, I think this really came down to who got the first turn. When you have an attack buffer that also CR pushes, and Strays plus Ida, both of whom have attack buff now, it's just way too much damage to tank.
Ooh, we're going to see both the A-Ravi and the Ross just get deleted here. And now you have a Hua Young that would not be able to do anything to that A-Kali. And Vinny is going to take round 1. I do think one of the things in like E7 World Cup mode, right, where you don't have that double pre-ban in the first match, I think that whoever starts out usually has like whoever takes first turn has a really, really good place in that first match. I think it's really big. I really wish they would add like a double pre-ban to the first match and then have subsequent stacking bans. So even if you go into a best of 3, then that's a potential 4 bans right there. I think that would add a little bit more diversity into this.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people were asking for the double pre-bans right from the beginning of round 1. It's kind of unfortunate they did it this way.
Yeah, so we do see a Belian and we do see a Ran ban out here. Ozakir taking up that Hua Young first pick yet again. I don't really like Hua Young first pick personally. I feel like as time has gone by, a lot of people have figured out how to adequately counter her, like picking up the Operator Sigret.
Yeah, Opsig is a big threat for Hua, for sure. I think if you're a tank player, having Hua is very nice, but you need to have a lot of answers built for these types of drafts that are just going to try to run you over. Since Hua Young is kind of putting you in a predicament, as the opponent. Do you want to play standard into Hua Young? Who wants to play standard into Hua Young, right? So it really incentivizes you to cleave him.
Right. Not only that, but yeah, if you pick Hua Young first, that is a really big tell into it. It kind of forces you into a standard draft, right? You don't really have a whole lot of flexibility. Now, I have seen some people picking Hua Young as kind of like a cleave anchor, very similar to how a Ravi is a cleave anchor. So you'll go, Hua Young and then flex into cleave if a Ravi's not available. However, usually if a Ravi is available, you'll first pick a Ravi. Which actually kind of surprising that Ozakir doesn't first pick a Ravi and then flex through that. Maybe he doesn't have the right answers or common answers to Hua Young and would just rather not fight Hua Young and would just rather have Hua Young. So
I think Ozakir prefers to play a standard match, and so in that standard match he wants the Hua, right?
Right. So we'll see the Peyra into the Ida here.
Peyra's a little less threatening than Ran is, but still scary.
Right.
The other thing is in a tough spot because when you have APOC and Hua together, you always have to be wary of what's her name? I'm totally blanking.
Spectre Tenebria?
No, sorry, Arya.
Arya. Yeah.
It kind of opens up Arya to the cleaver to use her as an anchor.
Yep, for sure.
Ooh, we get to see a Yufine.
Yeah.
Rakaza was a big Holiday Yufine user back when she was first released, and now she's been buffed, so I think she could work well into Peyra.
Ooh, and Senya as well.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, the Senya does help there with the with all of the water that Vinny has picked up here. So we do see the Kisei last pick, so he's definitely letting the Hua Young through. I'd likely say that we're going to see a Senya ban here from Ozakir's side.
Yeah, pretty much has to, with all those water units.
Or else Ida and Kisei are literally just going to kill themselves on the Senya. So we see the Operator Sigret, and we see the Senya ban out here. Now, there's a lot of damage that's going to be coming in on this Hua Young. However, if he... no, that's right. Okay, the Operator Sigret's gone, so it doesn't matter if the shield's there.
It's going to depend on if H. Yufine can cut here.
True.
But I guess, honestly, Vinny can just skill 3 on Peyra. He doesn't have to... Oh, he's going for it.
He is going for it.
Okay, that does push the H. Yufine. I feel like that might have been a misplay. He probably should have just skill 3'd.
So we're going to see the Ida is... Yeah, this is going to cut the Ida. Yeah. We'll see the S3 come out here, and that was definitely a misplay on Vinny's part because this is going to push everybody up.
Will they be able to cut the Ida? Looks like, APOC is getting up in front. Yeah, this is bad news for Vinny.
Yeah, and then there goes the S3 into the Ida, and that is that's it. That's all she wrote right there.
Wow, Holiday Yufine. I think Vinny could have won this though if he just skill 3'd on Peyra.
Yeah, all he had to do was S3 there. It was really, really greedy going for that S3, knowing that he was going to activate that Holiday Yufine.
I think maybe he miscalculated the CR boost.
Yeah, very possible. Maybe he just wanted to take it to a game 3 so that was better for content.
Yes, very considerate.
Very considerate, Vinny. So we're going to be going into game 3 here.
And this is the problem when you lose the first game is now your second pick in the third game, right? Which is tough.
Yep.
Well, I would anticipate Rikaza to ban out another speed opener. Yep.
Yep.
And looks like Vinny's banning out a AOL, which is very annoying to aggro into. So
yeah,
that's
not
a pretty
well. The
reasonable
weird
pre-ban.
thing with banning out the AOL here, right, is that Rikazo hasn't picked the AOL, so maybe Vinny's switching up his draft here to something else that he knows that the AOL would be rough into. Yep. So he's
like
going to
a
go
DN.
more of a potentially standard matchup here. Rikazo sticking with that first pick, Hua Young into the A-Ross. Vinny looking like he might go standard. That nope, he picks up the operator cigarette here.
Does he take another speed initiator or a DPS? This third pick is very tricky for an aggressive player. Looks like he's going with an
picks up
anchor.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, Rikaza takes hand guy. I think these are his comfort picks entirely. And so
yeah,
now these
absolutely.
last two, I would expect something to disrupt the aggression. So there's a Senya. Oh, interesting. He's taking a unit that could be pretty annoying to kill, since if Opsig doesn't crit, right, then dead Opsig.
Yep.
And I think Senya is actually a pretty nice pick here, since DN has fairly limited cleansing ability, and the debuffs from the skill 3 on Opsig can really cripple the enemy team, and also control the long game with provokes, you know, into things like A-Ravi that are typically on proof. So I think Senya is actually a really good pick here.
Yeah, Vinny kind of on the back foot here. You have DN, which, depending on how he has his DN built, can be another speed initiator. S3 with the tome into S2 with the push provides attack buff for everybody and a little bit of a push here, which would allow for the operator cigarette to tap that that Hua Young. We see the Spectre Tenebria come out here, which isn't a bad pick because there's not much in the way of reach. So he's going for more of an aggro draft here, picking up the last pick, Closer Charles. We'll see what Rikazo picks up.
I anticipate
his
another
last pick.
Opsig ban, because Rikazo doesn't really have any way to stop that from happening right now.
Right. However, if Opsig's banned out, so we see the last pick Sid here. If the Opsig is banned out, how does Vinny deal with the Hua Young before it's able to snag a couple of kills?
Yeah, it's a good question, because Hua can really threaten Charles, right? Even through miss.
Yep.
Bans the Senya. Well, I guess we're going to see how fast this Sid is.
Yeah, we'll see if the Sid... Maybe he's confident because he saw the Sid speed the first time around. Maybe he knows that his DN is... But it does not. No, he doesn't outspeed. That Sid is way faster than this DN.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure why...
Ooh,
Yeah,
barely
and then
kills.
Carlos is gone.
And almost kills the DN, too.
Almost kills the DN. Now, the real question here is this a Tome DN? Is it going to get back around and be able to CR push here?
It's Rod.
It is not a Tome. It's a Rod DN.
Well, Sid is not in stealth, so that's a res target for APOC.
It is, but Rikazu will likely be able to...
Ooh, no defense break.
Nope. Ooh, but that A-Robbie's dead.
Yeah, this Hwayong has an absurd amount of attack. Plus attack buff.
Being able to, into the dual attack there. Yeah, that is...
Wow,
Yeah,
this is quite the comeback from Rikazu.
Yeah, I don't think Vinny can come back here. I mean, you can S3 the Sid, right? But at this point, can DN Spectenny take out A-Ross, a hand guy, and Hua Young? That's very unlikely. Wow, and the hand guy strips the DN. that DN has to have absolutely no effect res.
I think a lot of DNs have 100 ER, and I know Rakazo builds about 100 effectiveness on his hand guy.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, so he's opting to go with
I think
all
he's
right.
really
Ooh,
forces this draft hard, right? And so when you do that, you need to be able to draft into units like Arya and stuff. And so the effectiveness on hand guy, I think, is helpful for that, but pretty gear intensive.
Yeah, and even with that, with the attack buff, that Spec Tenny is not doing any damage right there through the defense buff.
Yeah, defense buff is
through
OP.
the mitigations. The DN is going to drop here, and then that is going to be all she wrote for Vinny and my shot at winning the money from this tournament.
It was a good run.
It was. I think that Vinny misplaying on that second match was really the nail in the coffin. That
he gave Rakazo the opening. But yeah, good
absolutely.
games though. It was fun to see Moon Bunny popping off there in game 1.
Yeah, you know the thing is I think in the third match too that I don't think he necessarily needed to ban the Senya per se. I think that he had some sustain, and he could have potentially just worked through it. Right, getting rid of the Sid, I think, had to be the play there. Yeah, he would have taken the residual damage from the Senya, but it was better than just getting absolutely one shot.
Yep.
And just dumpstered by.
He still had the DN and the Spectre, right, to maybe try to stabilize a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was just going for the outspeed.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Cool.
But
well, thank you very much,
game's
Shogun,
over.
for participating in the tournament. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely no problem. Thanks for having me, and it was a pleasure.
Awesome. I will talk to you later.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.